Hey, Hector. I am Lydia. I am a licensed practicing counselor. How are you doing today?
Hi, Lydia. I'm okay.
What brings you in to see me today?
Well, I was in an accident 5 months ago, and the hospital social worker told me to come see a therapist.
I'm sorry to hear that you were in an accident. Would you be able to tell me a little bit more about what led the social worker um, to refer you to me?
Sure, I was in a car accident 5 months ago, and it was pretty bad. I had to spend 4 months in the hospital. It hurt my hip, my arm, and my shoulder. It ruined my life. I will always have to walk with a cane. I had stopped working for my dad. The only job I've ever done is construction, and now I'm just at home.
That seems like a lot has happened in a short amount of time. Getting in a big accident, getting injured, being in the hospital for a while, and then no longer doing the job that you know how to do. Um, Sounds like a lot. What emotions has this all brought up for you?
I don't know. Things have not been good. Talking is not going to bring me back to who I used to be. I just want things to go back to before the accident. I can't even provide for my family, and that is just one thing I am good at.
It sounds like you're feeling uncertain on if this is going to help you. But you showed up today, which tells me that some of you would like to see if maybe this would help. It also sounds like you would like um, to find a part of you from before the accident, something that's important to you, like being able to provide for your family. Is there anything else that you would feel like that would make you feel like yourself again?
Yes, providing for my family is important to me, but I have only ever known construction. With my injuries, that life is not possible anymore. I want to be able to do that again. I would like to be able to do things on my own and not rely on my wife. I still can't drive. I have all these doctors and physical therapy and now therapy appointments. I don't want to be so angry all the time either. I'm just angry and watch TV while drinking beer. That is what my life has become.
It sounds like a lot of things have changed and that you're struggling with relying on your wife, switching roles with her or being the one taking care of you. She's now being like more the provider and having to drive you places to appointments. It sounds like you've got a lot of appointments going on, which also sounds really overwhelming. I hear you say that you also don't like being angry all the time. That sounds frustrating. And that I hear you are wanting to make some changes about being angry and about spending time watching TV while drinking beer.
Yes, I don't like who I've become.
Okay. Before we move on further, I would really like to see how alcohol consumption fits into your life. There's this short assessment called audit that is very commonly used. Are you okay with me asking you a few of these questions?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. Let's begin. How often do you have a drink that contains alcohol? Never, monthly, 2 to 4 times a month, 2 to 3 times a week, or 4 more times a week?
A week? 4 or more times a week.
Okay, thank you. The next question is how many drinks pertaining alcohol do you have on a typical day when you drink, when you're watching TV?
When I'm watching TV and drinking, I have been having probably 5 beers within the day.
Okay. Um, how often do you think that you have 5 or more drinks in one occasion? Um, like never, less than monthly, weekly, or daily, almost daily?
Lately, it's been about 4 times a week, so I guess almost daily.
Okay, almost daily. Thank you. Next is the next question is how often during the last year have you found that you were not able to stop drinking once you had started? Never, less than monthly, monthly, weekly, or daily, almost daily.
Not being able to stop once I started. I'd probably say weekly.
Weekly, okay. Um, how often during the last year, so taking effect before your accident, have you needed a first drink in the morning to get yourself going after having a heavy drinking session the night before?
Um, I don't usually have to start the day off with a beer, so I would say less than monthly.
Less than monthly, okay. Um, how often during the last year have you had feelings of guilt or remorse after drinking?
Well, this last month I've been drinking a lot from coming home from the hospital. So with going with that, I would say most often after I drink, so almost daily.
Okay, so factoring in the last month, it really has increased a lot compared to the entire last year. Um, that's how your life has been going lately. So, okay. How often during the last year have you been unable to remember what happened the night before because you had been drinking?
Oh, I can usually remember a lot from the night before, so I would say less than monthly.
Less than monthly? Okay. Um, have you or someone else ever been injured as a result of your drinking?
Oh, I've never hurt anyone or myself, never.
Okay, that's good. I'm glad to hear that you've never hurt yourself or anyone else. There's one more question. Has a relative, a friend, a doctor, or another health worker ever been concerned about drinking or suggested you cut down from drinking?
Well, it really increased lately, as you know, and so I would say my wife has had concerns for me and suggests I slow down lately.
Okay, so your wife has suggested you slow down. Um, okay, thank you, Hector, for answering all those questions and being really open with me. Based on the answers that you shared, you scored 25 points out of the 40 of the highest amount possible. And it shows that it is likely that your drinking is causing probably some harm in your life, affecting your life. How does that make you feel?
That makes me feel pretty crappy. I don't know how to stop at this point. It is something that makes me feel better since my injury, but also worse as I also don't like the way I get angry or how it scares my wife that I've been drinking a lot.
Yeah, those are all valid feelings. Um, it sounds like you're maybe in a contemplation stage of change, um, meaning that you are seeing the pros and definitely some cons of this behavior. A pro being that it takes away the pain and that it kind of makes you feel a little bit better. And then the cons being that, it scares your wife and maybe it's becoming a little bit more of a problem. You don't like how you get angry. Um, but also feeling uncertain how to make the change. Um, you're recognizing that drinking may take some of the pain away, like I said, and you know, you don't want that pain. Um, maybe there's some other ways that we can figure out how you can have less pain in your life without the beers. You don't need to make any decisions today, but what would it take for you to feel a little bit more ready um, for you to get some different help for your drinking habit?
I'm not ready to give it all up yet, but I could slow down and work on that. I think about finding something that makes me feel like myself again, a sense of providing and purpose.
Okay, that's some good goals. I think slowing down is a fantastic first step. Um, one of the things you can do is kind of like slowly decrease it. Um, you can maybe start with having like one less beer a night and kind of see how you feel and see how much you have that urge to keep going as well, and kind of see what's going on in your body and in your brain. When you're ready for more help, I would be super happy to refer you to different support groups. There's lots of different kinds that we can talk about depending on what you like and what you're needing, and um, specialized therapist if you have that. Until then, what do you think would help you to feel like you have more of a purpose? Is there any kind of work that you do to help your dad's business that would give you a little bit of responsibility and, maybe it'll make a little bit of money to provide?
I can't do the construction part, but I wonder if my brother, who makes phone calls, would let me take over some of that for now. Even if I don't make money yet, something to do that is productive I could possibly help.
I think this sounds like a really great idea. And if you learned how to do some behind the scenes part of business stuff, maybe your brother could show you how to do it, can train you. Um, Even slowly, that could be something that you work towards for a different role of a job.
I also can maybe go with my wife to church again and see some old friends.
That also sounds great. A great way to incorporate meaningful time with your wife and some good supports from, old friends from your church. These are great small steps that will help you make some big changes in the future. I'm really proud of you for coming in today and being open and vulnerable with me. I believe we can find parts of the Hector that you are missing and maybe create a Hector 2.0. How does this sound?
I like the sound of Hector 2.0, since I will never be the complete Hector that I used to be.
Yeah, the the accident definitely did change you and you won't be able to be the Hector that you used to be, but Hector 2.0 could be pretty cool. Um, how did you feel about our first conversation today? I know you said you didn't think talking about this would help you.
I'm still hesitant on how much this will help, but I have nothing left to lose, so it's worth a shot.
Awesome. Well, thank you for coming in today, and we'll schedule another time soon.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.